healing work on people, what I was doing today was I was disconnecting them from Saturn. All of a sudden, their symptoms went away. And I actually just did this purposely just to remove Saturn, nothing else. And all of a sudden, the pain in their body went away, the nausea went away, a lot of the ill feeling they had went away. So it is a ripple effect, and it is causing problems within a lot of us.
That's pretty flippin' interesting that you would talk about Saturn. This is, we have different planetary influences, and we know this, like Mars tends to be associated with war, and that's more than just an ancient legend or a myth. There's truth to that when you begin to chart these planets and see how they intersect with different historical periods. And Saturn being the ancient god Kronos, that's a very interesting statement that you just made. I need to think about that a lot. But we are connected to this. We're connected energetically. And here again, I think you can probably confirm this for me. We're attached to different places. I think because, first off, we've not lived one life. We've all lived many lives, and I suspect that those lives were interplanetary as well. I've long suspected that we have ancestral ties to other worlds as well as to this one.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody who is energetically inept, anybody who has a high energy field around them, there's a good chance that they did come from, let's say, Lemuria or Sirius or some other star system. And now what this means is that we didn't get on a ship and come here and stop at a bus stop and jump off the ship. It's more our spiritual energy, our soul, the essence of us has been taken from there and put into a solid density here in order to number one, maybe learn something. Also maybe to help the whole planetary evolvement into the new dimension go its course, maybe to help humanity understand what exactly is going on here. So there's a lot of different aspects of why we might be here as coming from a different star system, but many of us are, and more and more people I'm seeing and coming to me, they're saying, yes, I know I'm from a different star system, I just don't know where, I just don't know exactly what it is, but they have this big, strong feeling they're not from here.
Yeah, I've encountered that repeatedly in my life. And I think for some of us, we just know that. And you think, well, what does that mean? Well, I've noticed that people who are attuned to that also have very marked sensitivities to certain things, and they're prone to certain syndromes. I went through years of depressions and some very dark things in my life that were actually good things because they were a conduit to me understanding aspects of my own destiny. Do you encounter a lot of that with the people that you're seeing?
Yeah, I do. What I do with people generally like that is I work in an area called the home body. And what the home body is your actual real presence on your home planet. So because you're here and you're there through quantum entanglement, you're in the same space at once. So if there is a health problem or some kind of disruption on your home body, it's going to affect you here, just like the ripple effect from Saturn to Earth, okay? So there's still going to be that connection, and you can still have that problem. And I have worked on some people in that area, and it has made a difference. So when you're doing energy work, there's so many things that you have to consider. There is things that we're just barely starting to learn, and we're just at the tip of the iceberg on knowing what the whole truth is, how things are really working, what the whole heck is going on here.
Yeah, you've just opened up a whole conversation about the fact that we're really learning this stuff. And that, I think, I don't even know if 5 years ago I would have had this conversation. I knew a lot of the concepts. It's taken me most of my life to accept a lot of these things that I kind of already knew. But it feels like there's been an enlargement of the aperture of the spirit in terms of really coming to understand things in a way that even if even if we didn't struggle with the idea, for instance, of extraterrestrials or the idea that we are quantumly entangled with other worlds and other bodies and other dimensions, you can understand that intellectually, but to begin to act on it is another thing completely. And it seems like now we're being imparted tools and a higher level of understanding for all this.
Well, that's exactly it. And for us humans, us inquisitive, dense humans, we have to try and logically be able to figure anything out. So when you talk to somebody and tell them that they've got the devil in them, they got Lucifer in them, they've got an ET entity within them, they kind of look at you funny and they can't figure out, how can this be in me? And then you try to explain it the best you can. And even we still can't even explain it the way it really is, because we don't really know the way it really is. So as humans, we have to try and always logically line it up and envision it and try to rationalize on this 3D level what it might be, what it might look like, what it is. You try and explain the meridian system to somebody, and they look at you kind of funny, like, well, if I rip my arm open, would I see the meridian from my shoulder to my fingers? Well, no, but it is there. It does exist, just like all the etheric things that are going on in our universe right now.
Yeah, well, and see, that's, again, this whole physicality aspect that we're wrapped up in. I remember meditating, this was a few years ago, where I got this download where I literally saw the universe inside of me, and then it turned inside out. And what was being communicated to me then was basically, yes, every aspect of that universe is inside you, and you are externalizing it, which was a pretty trippy concept even then for me. But we're kind of looking at things from a perspective of this state that we're in, this physicality and the eyes and the senses that we have, which are just, reflections of larger sensory streams that are much larger. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%, of course. We perceive the universe as this big, vast expansion of nothingness with solar systems and stars and blah, blah, blah all through it. And everything we see through the Hubble Space Telescope is...
Yeah, Carl Sagan, billions and billions, yeah. But
in all reality, what is the universe? I don't know. How far does it go? What's all really going on in there? Heck, I don't know. Who knows? You tell me, then we'll both know.
Well, and this is the grand puzzle, and I do look at it as a mystery, and it may not be a mystery we solve logically. I was saying that, too, to kind of get to a place where you came from the business world. You were working in printing and newspapers. That's pretty 3D. How did you make this gigantic leap from the business world into the place where you are now?
Good question, Randy. It was about 8 years ago. My first wife, she had a rare disease called scleroderma. So she suffered for about 6 years with it. So about 8 years ago, she passed away from it. Uh-huh. So the old story goes, one door closes, another door opens. I was at 46, I was able to retire. So I quit working. I had been working hard all my life, lifting like tons and tons of paper a day and working in a nasty environment. And I met somebody who does this type of work, doing muscle testing and working with herbs and at a certain level. And I looked and I thought, this is pretty cool stuff. So I got nothing better to do. So I started going to this guy's store every day, and he started teaching me a little bit. And then I ended up buying a course on how to do it. And then one thing led to another. I found these other courses to buy, and I met another person who does radionics. I met another person who does the sacred geometry tools. And it all kind of culminated together within about a year of me taking all these modalities under me. And I started picking it up extremely quick. And soon enough, people are knocking on my door. Hey, I can hear you. I can hear you cure diabetes. I hear you can cure arthritis and migraines. And people started coming to my house and doing this work. And all of a sudden I decided, you know what, I got to make a business out of this. I need a clinic. I need an office. And here I am today. I've been in my office going on 5 years. I've got clients all over the world. I do all this work on Skype and on the telephone with clients from everywhere, from California to the Middle East to Russia, Australia, all over the world. And Randy, I'm here to tell you it's working. People are getting healed of all of their health problems, and everything that I'm finding, including the alien aspect, the multidimensional aspect, the universal aspects of things, going right into the DNA programming of the chromosomes and finding these little implant chips that aliens are putting in there to have a cause and effect on your body. By removing all of this energy, people's health problems are going away.
That actually makes a lot of sense to me. My background in doing this show actually begins about 5 years ago, and very early on, I was obviously interviewing people with alien contact abduction experiences, but along with that, I was also interviewing people who were coming out of Black Ops government programs, specifically MK Ultra, MK Monarch, and programs like that, who were also these people had been heavily chipped in a very physical way. And as I had these conversations, I became aware of other things such as military abductions where people were saying they didn't know how they were being found. They'd move and they'd have the same experiences over and over again. And then the idea that there were alien implants, the idea that they were putting these into our body, and this is the part you can help me with, Chris. Are we dealing with physical implants? Are we dealing with implants on an astral body level? Explain a little bit about that, because I know that there's people out there that are very interested in this.
Yeah, these are, I'm going to say 99.9% on an astral etheric level, of course. Now they're not going to, they're not going to hold you down and cut your body open and put an implant in. First of all, you're going to see something, or you're going to know something's wrong. They're going to see it on an X-ray. It's not a physical thing. It is an energetic thing. Now, when these ETs, mostly the reptilians and the Zeta Reticuli, when they go into your DNA, they're working within the epigenome. Okay, they're putting an implant on the epigenome, which is a little tail that hangs off of the histone within the core of the DNA. And when something is on there, it triggers something within the chromosomes. It starts something. It makes a change within the programming. I look at the DNA within our body as a computer program. Okay,
absolutely.
They say that most of our DNA is junk DNA. Well, it's not junk DNA. It's just extra hard drive that you got to work with. So by going in there and finding all these different programs that are turned in and turned on, you can start to find out exactly what they're trying to do to you, and all these different changes. Now, of course, these ETs, they're all trying to also fix their own DNA. Their DNA has been tampered with for so long that they're trying to find a fix for it. They're also trying to find a way to go into the fifth dimension consciousness with us. Okay, so they're on a quest. They're looking for it in a big way. So when they go into the DNA and they do all the implants, they're trying to make things happen so they can experiment and see how they can use our DNA and splice it and make it part of their own. Okay. Now, like I said before about the causal body, they can put programs, they can put holographic programs in there. They can put programs in the holographic body to make things happen. So it's all on an energetic level. They put things within our soul. They put things everywhere just to get different results and see what happens when they do this.
So they're running programs, and these programs are designed to both test us and at the same time enable them to latch on to us because of this ascension process that we're going through.
Pretty much. There's probably some other things involved too, but that is really what I get on an intuitive level when I ask questions with my pendulum, and those are the basic answers that I get. Now, when my wife was, I got remarried and I got kids now. When my wife was pregnant with our first baby, I started testing the baby. Of course, I want to make sure this thing is healthy. In the placenta, there was a spirit of a Zeta Reticuli. Okay, so we're born with these things.
I've never heard anybody say that before, but now, all of a sudden, that adds a whole new level of understanding to generational abduction scenarios.
Yes, we are born with these things. And there is various videos on YouTube from high profile people who will attest that yes, we are born with these things. Generally within our stomach and in our brain is for the most part the energy is there. Of course, you crack open your brain, you're not going to see one because it's there on a